Yo, what's going on, gang? Oh, man, the bullshit is real. Early in the morning, the bullshit is real. Hope y'all doing good. It's your boy, Phantm Phuego. Phantm Phuego. You are tuned into the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Ooh. Yeah, sorry, this one's running behind a little late, gang. There's some crazy losses going on in the local community last night. I ain't really feel right getting on while they was out. It was a whole big candle ceremony, and just seeing the immense outpouring for the loss of life. That kind of took center stage, and I gave that my energy and offered up blessings for that as well, because in these times the communities really just got to stand together. You know what I'm saying? If we're not standing together right now, we just easy to break apart. We just easy to fall apart. We just easy to tear apart. A closed fist is much more powerful than 5 separate fingers. So, in understanding all that, I just wanted to put my energy and efforts in that direction for the evening, as I'm sure so many of you also would have. So I appreciate the patience and, the faithfulness, the faith that y'all have in me to make sure I deliver with these joints. And, I'm definitely going to drop them. Just make sure you set your notifications. So, whether it drops late in the evening, middle evening, in the nighttime, or it drops in the morning, the next morning, I know y'all getting it in between that time frame, and y'all are so, beautiful and giving me that little bit of gap leeway. Y'all know whether it come in or it ain't, it's going to be available. So the next time you at the gym, the next time you driving in your car, the next time you hanging with your lady, the next time you chilling with your friends, the next time you on the train, heading to work, the next time you at work, picking up boxes or bending, lifting, twisting. You know what I'm saying? The next time you doing what you do, his ghetto point of view will be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Just put us in the background and get to it. You know what I'm saying? Get your day going. Let all your coworkers hear his ghetto point of view, man. We get to it over here. This is the show to be. This is the wave to ride. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So anyway. Hope you guys are having a great week. I hope despite all the madness going on in the world at large, you guys are finding some inner peace, some inner tranquility, some inner solace, having a moment to yourself to kind of just relax, to recalibrate, to refocus on what's important to you, to your family, to your future, to your present, to your now. I hope you are not only thinking about tomorrow, but also enjoying the moment that you're presently in and being conscious and aware and maximizing the opportunities of that moment. Because so many times we could just be thinking about tomorrow, without realizing that we get to tomorrow through today and making sure that we're putting in the time to get to the things that we want our tomorrow to look like. What does that mean? Like, if you trying to put out a project, you trying to learn a new skill, you trying to create something dope, you have a timeline that you need to get things done by. Are you making sure to allocate the time today to make sure that when tomorrow comes, you're happy, you're satisfied, you put in the effort? We all fall, there's times our energy all lapses. I mean, those are regular things in life, but how quickly do you get back on the horse? How quickly do you bounce back? You know what I'm saying? Those are the marks of somebody really trying to get it, really trying to progress, really trying to move forward. The quicker that bounce back, the quicker that refresh moment, the more time you're putting into getting to your future self, the best version of yourself that you see. And it really is those habits, guys, being put into a consistent practice. Those behaviors being put into consistent practice that form those patterns. Those patterns will form behaviors. And then it goes into autopilot. Once your body puts certain things into autopilot and you start having a muscle memory for it, your body will literally engage you in the activity when you're not thinking about it the most. When you just, I don't really want to get through this. Like, it's like going to the gym. like once you have a pattern of going to the gym, even the days you don't feel like it, once you get in there and you start getting through the routine, your body just gonna take over. And you're gonna feel good as hell when you get out. Because you did something that your body is now accustomed to doing, and that your body and your psyche, every part of your being knows that there's a benefit to that activity. So getting through it, through the pain, through the soreness, through the stiffness, getting it done is a beautiful thing. And you reward yourself, and the universe rewards you on top. You get a 10x return on your investment. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to think about it in the terms of money and finance and wealth. Health is wealth. Mental health is wealth. Physical health is wealth. Spiritual health is wealth. And I would argue that the spiritual part is probably more wealth than the mental, and the mental is more wealth than the physical. But all three of those things interplay with one another. Your physical health helps your mental health. Your mental health helps your spiritual health. Your spiritual health helps your physical health. Your spiritual health helps your mental health. Your mental health helps your spiritual health. Your mental health helps your physical health. All these things play together. If something's going wrong in your mind, you might think about slashing your wrist. If something's going wrong in your mind, you might eat the bad foods and just not care. Like, whatever, I've been working out, I've been trying to go hard, but I'm having a bad day. I'm gonna just eat me a fried chicken sandwich. Fried, you know what I mean? I'm gonna eat 3 tubs of ice cream today because I'm just, I just feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So those feelings can literally have a physical impact. You know what I'm saying? And those feelings may not have started in the brain, because feelings to the brain are a chemical response. What stimulated that chemical response, some might argue, would be the spiritual manifestation. You know what I'm saying? The spirit putting those things, weaving those chemicals into play in your mind. Whatever you call that is, that momentum, that inertia, that initial thought, you know what I'm saying, creates that in your mind, in your gut, and in that you just have a physical manifestation of that. You just act that shit out. Just something to keep in mind, something to keep in spirit, something to keep in body, gang. All three are very important. And you got to have all three in alignment as much as possible. It's not easy. We all fall. I fall every damn day, y'all. I fall every damn day. But I try to make sure my bounce back is quicker each time. I try to make sure my get back is quicker each time, because I know that's time that I could be using to get to where I'm going. There's days I take off. There's weeks I take off, gang. We all do it. But the bounce back, man, the bounce back, strong, super strong bounce backs. Make up time. Study as much as you can, practice as much as you can, get your crafts up as much as you can, get your networks up as much as you can, create social equity as much as you can. If you don't have the finances to invest in the things you want, create social equity, make people owe you favors, go to their events, do favors for them. When they painting their house, be there. When they moving, be there. They need help fixing their car, if you know how to do that, be there, or refer them to somebody who can. They catering something, spread the word, send out the flyers. They got events going on. If you can't physically be at the event, help share the word for the event on your Twitter, on your Instagram, on your Snap. You know what I mean? Share the flyer with your small network of people. Those things, people appreciate those things, and they may not be able to tell you in the moment that they appreciate it. But when they see you, when they get an opportunity to interact with you, you'll feel it by that interaction. You know what I'm saying? When people see that you showing them love and you showing them appreciation, they're going to do everything in their power to repay that. They're going to repay that. Create social equity. Have people owing you favors. Tons of people in all walks of life owing you favors. And it will push some of the things that you couldn't get accomplished with finances ahead. It will push the things that you necessarily couldn't get accomplished with your finances ahead, or things that you may not be able to fully afford. They might be able to get you a discount on. They might know somebody that do it. They might do it themselves. And you being someone in the forefront of their mind, because you're constantly helping push their agendas to the forefront, push their energy. Even if you got only a small network, you got 100 followers, you constantly be like, yo, anytime that person got something new, yo, check this out. As long as it's stuff you really believe in and really support, you shouldn't just bop random products, and you shouldn't bop products. You shouldn't promote or push or pass along products. Promote, push, or pass along. You shouldn't promote, push, or pass along products that you personally don't believe in or that you don't know are of a decent quality. Like me, for example, I'm a vegan, you know what I'm saying? But I know people who make amazing meals with different proteins, meats, whatever. I know people that eat that stuff. Am I gonna not share them with those people? No, that's silly. Yeah, I want people to be vegan. And I do share the message of being vegan with people. But if I know somebody that makes some great ribs or some great panini or some great, you know what I mean, some jerk chicken or something, some shrimps, I'm gonna pass that along. If one other day, one of my people was like, yo, can you share this word out on your network? Pass it along. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. Like, and those favors are always appreciated. People see those favors. People do what they do, man, based on that flow. So, social equity, guys, is very important. Get your social equity up. Get your mental, physical, spiritual psyche up. Get your mental, physical health up. Get your mental, physical wealth up. Mental, physical, and spiritual wealth up. And once you have your mental, physical, and spiritual wealth up, make sure you're also doing things to create mental, physical, spiritual longevity. The creating social equity. You don't know when you're going to need a favor from somebody in 3, 4, 5 years down the road. As much as you can, without hurting yourself, without taking time away from the things you're trying to do, pour into other people's projects, man. Pour into other people's efforts. Pour into other people's initiatives that are in the same network as you. People that you know are really about it, really about that action, really getting to it, and they will push those energies back on you. That is the goal. That is the game plan. That's how you do it. Just a few words of wisdom and some jewels to start the day off. You know what I'm saying? That is really all it's about. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. But there is nothing more important to your net worth than your health. Mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. Whether that means fasting, meditating, just taking some moments of silence, taking some moments to deep breathe, taking a moment to just unwind, relax. Whether that's you reading a book or listening to some light music. Whatever you do to decompress, make sure you have those moments. Make sure you have those moments, gang. Watch a nice movie with your significant other. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on a nice little bit of wine, smoke. Whatever you do to decompress yourself, make it a time of full decompression. Don't be doing a million other things during that time, because then it never feels like a time of rest. And once you have that nice bit of rest time, then you hit the ground running. Hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? And your body feel up to it. You feel charged. You feel motivated. And even the days you don't feel charged, gang, if you have put in the pattern, those patterns will become habits. Those habits will become behaviors. And your body will do things on autopilot if you give it a chance. All you got to do is set up the programming, set up the coding, and let your body's computers get to running it. You know what I'm saying? 60 days, set up a habit. 60 days to set up a habit. 60 days to set up a habit. After that, your body will take over. Just keep it going. Keep it pushing. Keep doing it. You'll be surprised how you can go, how far you can get. You will impress yourself because you'll be impressing others. And you may not notice it, but as others reflect that change back onto you and be like, oh, I see what you're doing there, pimp. I see how you're doing there, queen. I see you, sis. See you moving, my mind. Big bro, you out here getting to it. As you see that joy and that energy radiate off of other people, and people show you appreciation for the efforts that you give them to their initiatives, they will give you effort into your own. Social equity, gang. Social equity. What you can't afford to pay for in cash, create a network of people you can barter and trade with goods, services, and favors. It's really an amazing thing. It really works. It is not 1,000% always guaranteed to work. Some people will take the social equity and run. Some people will take your cash payment and run. That's business. Don't let that stop you from using this proven strategy that even huge businesses use to do business with one another. Social equity, gang. It's very crucial. Your health, your wealth. Your health is your wealth. Your mental, spiritual, physical health is your wealth. And that's more important than anything else. We're going to take a quick break, gang. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is his ghetto point of view, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just the twist of his ghetto point of view. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We'll be right back. Yeah, we back, y'all. We back. So, crazy stuff going on in the news, gang. Let's talk about it a minute, shall we? Let's talk about it. Hey, let's talk about it. Yo, this dude Andrew Cuomo. Now, let me just jump into this Cuomo situation. I'm gonna hit you with this from a couple different angles, right? So, for those that don't know, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo is in he is at the firing squad at this point, gang. Initially it came out like around March, April time. A few reporters, one reporter most notably was covering the fact that there was a huge situation going on with the nursing homes, explaining the fact that legislation had passed to allow the nursing homes to receive back elderly patients who were being released from the hospital and may potentially still be carriers of COVID or any other ailments that you can catch in a hospital. It's a hospital. These are elderly people, weaker immune systems around a bunch of other people whose immune systems may be compromised, dealing with the same ailments, passing them back and forth, germs, viruses, what have you. It's just naturally how a environment, an ecosystem works, right? So thousands upon thousands of people were sent back to elderly homes all around New York, and at least 15 to 20,000 people passed away unnecessarily. Some people would argue because of this. That's at least, right? Could be way higher than that. Andrew Cuomo's team admitted that he covered up the numbers, and that he covered up the numbers to avoid the Trump administration being able to use those numbers to oust him. Because I'm pretty sure Donald Trump, with the relationship that they were having at the time, would have used whatever executive order power he had to remove Governor Cuomo right then and there. The way Governor Cuomo was talking spicy. Don't come to New York if you ain't got an army. If I see you, I'm going to punch you in the face. Excuse me? Is how you talking to the president of your country? I mean, what up? Forget the beef. Like, y'all, I understand. Y'all don't like the man. Some of y'all got issues with the man personally. Some of y'all have issues with him from what you've heard in the media. Some of y'all have issues with him for the things y'all have read, the things you've seen about his past. Or he wouldn't rent to these people. He wouldn't rent to these people. Yo, I get all of that. He wouldn't let black people rent his buildings and all this and that. Yo, I get all of that. Usually my response to that is, well, when will black people feel confident enough in themselves that they'll just go rent out black hotels? When will they feel confident enough in themselves that they'll just deal with the black landlords, live in apartments that are ran by black management companies, things of that nature? Oh, you sound separatist, and you sound like you like everybody living isolated. And no, not at all. What I am all about is about people having self-esteem and self-confidence. Generally, that tends to happen, though, with a higher reliance on self. So what does that mean? if I care more about my community, if I do more for my community, if I am more focused on how me and my community can help each other all get to the bag and get up, I am less concerned about whether somebody from another community will let me stay in a hotel or not. Because I'm not even looking to stay in a hotel unless it's a last minute thing and I have no other solutions available. I'm not looking to rent from them unless I have no other solutions available. I'm not looking to buy from them, exchange with them, get merchandise from them, get any services from them if I'm concerned about me and my community being able to get to those things and do those things for ourselves. So I hear a lot of people be like, oh, well, his father was a racist and he's a racist and he wouldn't let people stay in his hotels. And I hear people when they talk about Trump University and how people didn't get what they were supposed to get and people lost money. And people lose money going to Harvard. People lose money going to Yale. People lose money going to Tuskegee. People lose money at universities, period. Sometimes the degrees don't work out. Sometimes people drop out. Sometimes it was more than they could chew. Sometimes the program just doesn't offer the things that they thought it would, and they got sold on the advertising. It's a business at the end of the day. But I hear those complaints. They are real. They are valid to some degrees. Some of it is not valid from my perspective, from his ghetto point of view. You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. But peep game. The way you talk about your president has drastic effects with how your president can go do business around the world. And you be like, I don't give a fuck about that. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if he can't. Who cares? I hope the president of France, the prime minister of Great Britain or somewhere just smack him in the face. Bow. Bow, bow, bow. I mean, that's real. That's a perspective to have. But then what if they take that a step further and be like, oh, they don't have no faith in their president. They have lost confidence in the people that are in charge. What if they start sending out pamphlets in your communities, start renting space in the local universities, start giving lectures, start creating social media platforms, start sending people over here, all with the goal of a coup or internal takeover? Now that sounds like some type of movie stuff, but that's what happens all the time. All they need to see is that we don't have no faith in the president. We have no trust in the president. We airing out our dirty laundry for the whole world to see. Is something about, just to bring it back to a sports analogy, like if a basketball team has issues or a football team has issues, air that out in the locker room. Fight in the locker room. Get it all out your system. Get it all out. But when it come time to get out that locker room, we need to be on the same fucking page. We need to be on one accord. Because if we are not, that leaves you open to being attacked by outsiders from every angle because you're too busy fighting yourselves to notice that the real enemies is creeping up your back door and climbing in your windows. And by the time that the infighting stops, you turn around and it's guns in your face. Oh, it's a new regime that was even worse than anything you could have imagined. So just something to keep in mind. You can feel the way you want about the president. That's why we have a democratic society, we have a democratic voting structure built in our republic. So we have these balances in place. You have the First Amendment. You're free to say you hate whoever the hell you want. But these public displays by government officials of he needs an army to come here, meaning I would fight against my own president on our own soil. What? New York is one of the biggest economies in the whole world. So you would potentially destroy the economy of New York City to have a war with the president of the country? Are you seceding? Are you trying to secede from the nation, Governor Cuomo? And you taking all these New Yorkers who did not vote on that succession with you? Are you okay? Nigga, is you okay? Nigga, is you okay? Have you lost your goddamn mind? And she's like, oh, leave him alone. He's great. His father Mario did a lot for the city. And, Chris Cuomo's a great analyst on CNN, and Governor Cuomo should also still run for president, and. But guys, just like Chris Christie ruined his chance to run for president with his nonsense with those bridges, I am pretty sure Governor Cuomo's chances to even be governor again, forget running for president, but to even be governor again, are well out the window, gang. That's all over. That's all over. That's all over. So, in a scathing report, Attorney General Letitia James, who you need to watch out for, not only is she very sly and calculated, extremely intelligent, bold, smart, well-spoken. She's got the look and the talent to make a run at a government seat. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 4 years, 4 to 8 years, she is the governor of New York. I would not be surprised at all if Andrew Yang becomes the mayor and Letitia James becomes the governor. Because she went from being low-key and just being in Crown Heights, and, my cousins and I used to hand out her flyers out there, to really moving up real fast. Really moving up real fast. Attorney General. And, she's had an excellent, amazing career, and I would not be surprised at all if she gets propelled into the seat of governor. Now, would that be a great thing? It would absolutely be wonderful in some respects, but in other respects, it could be very detrimental. I don't know. We'd have to see. Because usually when you get first-term people in a chair, sometimes it's easy to take advantage of them being new to the job. So you'd have to insulate yourself with the right team to make sure people can't take advantage of you. So, which she's more than intelligent enough and capable of handling. And, wouldn't need somebody like me who barely knows anything about politics to tell her. But this is just my ghetto point of view. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to take advantage to rookies. It's very easy. And then a lot of times rookies are paying their dues. So, a lot of favors could be done. A lot of hands could be washed. A lot of palms could be greased as she's paying her dues in her new seat, so she can ensure that she gets her second go around, when then she'll be able to really start to implement her agenda. But everyone who pays for her to get that first chance is going to get to eat first. And that would come at the expense of New Yorkers. Because it always comes at the expense of New Yorkers at the end of the day. But that's just his ghetto point of view. Oh. But yeah, man, so Governor Cuomo is under fire right now because Letitia James' report says that he was completely in the wrong for letting those people back into those nursing homes, retirement villages, retirement centers, what have you, elderly homes. And on top of that, in March, he gave the retirement homes, the elderly facilities, complete amnesty, removed all liability. So if people did die when he returned these people back, you can't even sue the nursing homes. You can't sue the elderly homes. You can't sue any of these elder centers at all. So if they're knowingly bringing back in people who could kill off half of the nursing home, it's, oh well. We did it because Cuomo said to do it. So when Cuomo said we had to do that, then we told him, hey, we need to make sure we are wipe the clean of this. And are there bigger fish to fry? Was there other people in their hand in this and who benefited from this immensely? Oh, I'm sure. But you see, Governor Cuomo, it is very clearly proven, easy to look up, get so much money, so many donations from people who run these senior living centers. Senior living is a huge business. Senior living is a huge business. So, just something to keep in mind. It is a huge, huge, huge business. Huge business. instead of doing that the right way, which would be like, hey, if we're going to let these people back in these homes, we got to give people notice. We got to give people the option. We got to give people the opportunity to say no and figure out a plan for their elders. No, we just going to shuffle them all in there and let the chips fall where they may because we're making too much money to give a damn. And yeah, in a normal circumstance, we would get sued. But not only are we not going to get sued, Letitia James has publicly called for Governor Cuomo to cancel that paperwork from March, saying that these people will never be held liable. So good luck with that, because they're trying to strip him of his emergency powers, and hopefully in stripping him of his emergency powers, they'll also be able to figure out a way to rescind that paperwork from last March. But that's just disgusting. So I'm going to bring in these people who could potentially kill everybody in here, and then I'm going to make these people have no responsibility. That's crazy, gang. That's absolutely sick. That's absolutely sickening. How is he allowed to do this? How is he allowed to continue to go on in this manner and no one says anything, no one does anything? How do we continue to allow this? So now the call is for Cuomo to resign or face litigation. And yes, he needs to resign. Yes, he needs to face litigation. But keep an eye on the people who are pushing hard for him to face litigation and resign, because a lot of them have been doing a ton of dirt around the country and in New York, and them pushing for him to take this fall like he was in that by himself, like a bunch of people wasn't taking checks for this, like a bunch of people's hands didn't get greased, like a bunch of people didn't get the bag behind this. It's laughable, to say the least. But he an OG and he know the game. So he know he can't just start snitching. He can't just say, oh, well, I was in this with her and him and them and this group and that group. Nah, he gonna have to fall on his sword all by himself. All by himself. Or all the people, all the fraternities, all the different clubs he's a part of that give him extra checks and, cushy this and free that, are all going to turn their back on him. His brother could lose his job at CNN. He knows that there's a lot to risk. So like a good little soldier, eventually he'll put up this fight. He may even keep his seat for a while. But eventually, as these reports continue to mount, he'll be out of there. Or he just will ride out this term and not get another one. And don't be surprised if Letitia James's name is on the ballot. Or they do an emergency hearing and put her in at the moment, just for the moment. Wouldn't be surprised, gang. And again, when you have a newbie, when you have a rookie, excellent at what she's done previously, but when you are new to a new position, it's very easy for people to take advantage, influence, or remember the social equity thing we talked about. The people who help her get into that seat, you think they not gonna want they turn? You think they ain't been licking they lips and biting they chomps? Like, oh yeah, once my person get in there, we gonna run New York the way we want to. And they gonna get a 2 to 3 year window to do whatever the heck they want. And as she looks like she's about to get her second term, then she'll be able to start doing her thing. And then we'll get to see what she really would have done with the leadership role, and hopefully what she may or may not have to do, allegedly, or whoever takes that seat, if it's a new first term person. Because at this point they would be, because Cuomo's been in there for 3 years, three terms. I'm sorry, he's been in there for 3 terms. So whoever's taking the role at this point would be a very new person to the role, taking it at a time when the city is flipped upside down on its head. The ship is sinking. Almost $100 billion in tax revenue has left. Thousands and thousands and thousands of millionaires have left. Jobs have left. The New York Stock Exchange is threatening to leave over the new taxes. Whoever takes the ship right now is taking a sinking ship. And I don't mean to sound racist, but it's always interesting how they put black folk in charge of sinking ships. When Obama had to take over the country, it was a sinking ship. Obama did a lot of effed up stuff. But the ship was already sinking when they let him take over the captain's quarters. And I'm not going to act like it wasn't. Obama did trash. Obama did disgusting things. We could get into all that another time. His ghetto point of view, he was one of the worst presidents ever. But I don't put too much on any of these presidents being good presidents. But when it comes to presidents, he's at the bottom of the list. Just his ghetto point of view. Oh. Just his ghetto point of view. But I'm not going to pretend like the ship wasn't already sinking when they said, bro, you could drive the car. This is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they do. New York has only had a black mayor one time, and that was David Dinkins, R.I.P. to the GOAT. He just passed recently. New York was in a state of complete turmoil and disarray when they threw him the keys and said, try to catch it, try to catch it, try to catch it. And since then, they have never allowed a black man to be the mayor of New York again. They'll let the mayor of New York have a black wife, but even give him problems about that. Shout out to de Blasio and Shirley McRae. De Blasio ain't a saint, but he's done some dope things around the city. I definitely think he's done some great things, but he's also done some trash. He's definitely also done some trash. He's tried some good initiatives, but I think that there are so many hands to grease and so many palms, so many people that you owe just to be at the top in New York that it's very difficult to do just your agenda. You got to always play that. I got to give this person, give that person, give this person, give that person, give. And by the time you doing all that salsa and bachata and doing this balancing act of ole, 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 you twisting the left, twisting right, hand in hand and handing out favors, you don't really look like you've accomplished anything. You may have left it right in the middle where it was when you got it, which was not a very good place to begin with. So just keep that in mind for whatever happens, whoever takes over the governor's position, whether it be Tish James or somebody else. But it's looking like Tish James, and on the mayor front, I think it's going to be Andrew Yang. And I feel like Yang is going to be the same type of thing. I feel that he owes a lot of people in the fintech space, financial technology. So there's going to be a lot of financial technology initiatives that would happen in New York. He's already said it's going to be a Bitcoin hub and this and that. So there'll be a lot of transition. New Yorkers will have to massively cultural shift into the digital age. And it'll be a huge culture shock for a lot of people. But not to sound crazy, but when you kill off all the old folks, the culture shift might not be that deep. Anyway, this is Ghetto Point of View. We bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews with a twist of his ghetto point of view. Just saying, if it's only young people that jump into and embrace tech anyway, and, older folks that are, more hip to the script, pay attention to the words because the story is deep. Pay attention to the words because the story gets deep, y'all. Yeah, but that's what I feel about the whole Cuomo situation and subsequently what that would do for, the city. I think, you got to watch Tish James, got to watch everybody around her in her circle. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think she's a star on the rise. And, she's going to have her moment in the sun, or her moment being the sun, her moment spreading the light and being that beam and that ray for New York. This is his ghetto point of view, bringing you the previews, reviews, news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Ooh. This is his ghetto point of view, y'all. I'm so silly. Forgive me, gang. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Cheers. Yeah, we back, gang. So just to continue on, stuff has been, very interesting. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com, gang, is where you can send any of your questions, comments, criticisms. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com, HISGHETTO. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. And you can always find us on Instagram, IG as well. And please continue. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you so much to those who donate to the platform. You can donate via paypal.me/PHANTM PHUEGO, paypal.me/PHANTM PHUEGO, Phantm Phuego, or on Venmo at Venmo at Phantm PHANTM Phuego PHUEGO 42, Phantm Phuego 42. Definitely appreciate that, gang. So, and please continue to send me your questions, your comments. Anybody who has any art, any projects, apps, different events that you're working on that you'd like to get in front of our amazing, diverse, thought-provoking, funny as hell audience, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Alright, so shit getting real with these vaccines, gang. Ish is getting real with these vaccines. So there's a corrections officer in Mexico had to file a lawsuit because they are trying to mandate that he take the vaccine to come back to work. It's getting real. He's like, if y'all not going to guarantee my safety with this experimental vaccine, which is still what it's classified as, it is still classified as an experimental vaccine. It has an emergency use authorization. So because of its emergency use authorization, because they feel like they're using it in an emergency situation, they have gotten an emergency use authorization. So because of the emergency use authorization, they can take an experimental drug and say, hey, try this out. So a detention center officer, or aka a CO in New Mexico, filed a lawsuit over a workplace requirement to receive the coronavirus vaccine, the first lawsuit against mandatory COVID-19 vaccination in the U.S. The detention center officer, Isaac Lagarreta, sued a county manager and his supervision on Sunday, Bloomberg Law reported. The officer's attorney, Anna Garner, say he was told he would be fired for refusing inoculation, refusing to take the shot. The complaint claims the country manager and supervisor violated his rights by making the vaccine a condition of employment for first responders unless reasonable accommodation has been approved. You can't be forced to be a human guinea pig when a product is experimental. Garner, an attorney for the nonprofit New Mexico Stands Up, told Bloomberg, we have the right to bodily integrity. The county attorney has disputed the allegations and argued that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission said employers can mandate vaccines. This is pay attention to the words because the story get deep, gang. The attorney also argues that Lagarreta hasn't claimed to have a qualifying condition preventing him from getting the vaccine. Hold up. I don't need to have no What are you talking about? The American Disabilities Act and the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act would allow for employees' vaccination exemptions under certain health and religious reasons. So, what if he has a religious reason? What if he just don't believe in taking that type of stuff? The EEOC in March 2020 said an employer covered by the ADA and Title VII can't compel all of its employees to take a vaccine. Otherwise, employers are likely on firm legal ground to mandate vaccinations. So if the employer is covered by the ADA, they can't compel it. Otherwise, wow, that's crazy. Hey guys, it's getting real out here with these vaccines, man. It is getting real out here with these vaccines. That was an article from MSN News, Bloomberg Law, a New Mexico detention center. You can't be forced to be a human guinea pig when the product is experimental. Mm-mm-mm. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's about to get really real, gang. They about to cut off life for people if they don't want to get with this program. Like, how y'all feel about this, man? I know some people out here is like, well, it's, you got to do what you got to do. Ray, so on and so forth. You got some people that's like, listen, just take it, just so we can get back to a sense of normalcy or normal life. And, the issue with that is, if you take it so everybody can get back to normal life, or when does normal life resume? They even had a report that several people, and I'm talking about, tens of thousands of people in all the branches of the military are refusing to take it. Thousands of people in local service branches, such as the fire departments, particularly out in New York. FDNY has, come under fire for refusing. At least 50% of the people refusing not to want the vaccines. So it's like, what do you do when such a heavy amount of the people who are tasked with the protecting and the upholding of the infrastructure, the maintenance of the infrastructure, what do you do when they're like, hey, this is not something we feel comfortable with? When people in society look at people like firefighters, police, soldiers, Marines, people in the Air Force, when you look, fighter pilots, and then you think of, practically superheroes. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking about people that are generally in very good shape, good condition. You thinking about the people who hold society down. And you're like, damn, they don't want it? If they don't want it, sheesh. If they don't want it, sheesh. What am I supposed to think? And, people can condemn you and clown you for coming up to that conclusion, but who cares? If that's your point of view, that's your point of view. And some other people are going to come to the conclusion that, I really need to take this vaccine. I got to take it for work. I got to take it for school. I got to take it because I just want to be safe. And that's their decision to make as well. That's their point of view. And ideally, we should just let everybody's point of view rock. Ideally, we should just let everybody's point of view rock. But if we not gonna do that, if we refuse to do that, then it's gonna be real problems out here. It's gonna be problems. But just the perspective, gang. Just the perspective. Just his ghetto point of view. Ooh. Yeah. So things is gonna get interesting, man. Things about to get ugly. Fuck it, dog. I'm hungry. So, on a lighter note, or not so light note, depending on how much you love Nike sneakers, a mom quits her Nike gig after son is caught reselling exclusive pairs at huge profits. And the mom worked at Nike, and the son was using her Nike store discount and what may have been credit cards, expense accounts that she had from Nike. So he was using Nike money, allegedly, to buy Nike products on a Nike discount, allegedly, and then was making crazy profits. So he wasn't spending a dime, and this was because his mom is an executive at Nike. So he posted these shoes on, sale exchange platforms and got to the bag. Hold on. Please pardon me, gang. And in the meantime, as always, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. So, according to Yahoo Finance, a top Nike executive in the U.S. has resigned from the company after 25 years after her son's booming sneaker resale business became public. Anne Herbert, Nike's general manager for North America, the general manager for all of North America, y'all, stepped down following the Bloomberg Business Week article. And in the Business Week article, it's talking about how her son made all of this money selling shoes over the summertime. So, understanding how these things go in their world, I just wonder, who did her son make mad that knew somebody at Bloomberg and made his business public? Or who knew him at Bloomberg and was just trying to show him love? Because sometimes people might have just been like, oh, this is a cool thing that this person is doing. Let me throw some shine on it. And then, oh, it's reported the son used a credit card in her name to purchase the shoes for his business, which he resold for a profit. A credit card, which was an expense account from Nike. Nike defended Ms. Herbert's conduct, saying she has disclosed her son's West Coast streetwear firm in 2018. There was no violation of company policy, privileged information, or conflicts of interest. Stop it. This is all conflict of interest. She is the general manager for all of North America. He has insider access to shoes exclusively before anybody else could get them. He has insider access to drops of shoes, quantity of shoes, everything. He can get shoes before they release. He can get hard to find joints that haven't been in circulation for a long time. Like, he has access to literally all of their North American inventory and probably overseas inventory as well. If she's been with the company for like 20, 30 years, he probably got a network to shoes all over the globe. This is crazy. And then you pretty much got unlimited access to capital. You got her discount on top of the capital. And even if the money didn't come from an account, from an expense account, if it was just her cash. So you're using the money made by an employee of Nike to buy Nike shoes to resell. And then you're also using her Nike discount, which as a manager is probably insane. She's probably getting the shoes for damn near cost. And probably getting real old pairs at less than cost. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. So the article continues. The Yahoo Finance article continues. The article describes how they're referring to the Bloomberg article, how 19-year-old Joe Herbert used bots to swarm online sales sites. Then he's purchasing with bots, which has also been deemed as an unfair practice and illegal. Then he's also doing the purchases with bots, which has also been deemed unfair because for those that don't know, like, you can literally create computer programs that will make online purchases for you. They're called bots. You could create computer programs to pretty much do anything, to interact with people. Like, let's say you have a Gmail account, right? Like, you could create, they have bots in Gmail which will post your name at the end of your emails that you send to people. We'll post a message for you. We'll post, we'll send things out at a particular time of the day or night. They have programs that have been created to do those actions or commands for you. And you can literally buy those actions or commands from programmers for yourself, for your business, for your social medias, for branding, for promoting, for publicity. You can set up bots to do things at different times of the day and night. It's really a dope process. But anyway, overcoming systems meant to restrict purchases to buy up popular limited edition sneakers. So Herbert used bots to swarm online sales sites, overcoming systems to restrict purchases to buy up popular limited edition sneakers, right? Because the bots, you can all put them in there as a separate purchasing person. So like if a new exclusive drop come out, they'd be like, oh, we only limited it to 4 per person or 5 per person. Each bot you send in there can have a separate IP address, come from a separate individual internet address, internet phone number, and run in there and be like, let me get 5 pairs, let me get 5 pairs, let me get 5 pairs, let me get 4 pairs, let me get 3 pairs. You could set them up to do different numbers so it could look real organic. Let me get 5 pairs, let me get 3 pairs, let me get 2 pairs, let me get 4 pairs, let me get 1 pair, let me get 3 pairs. You do that with enough bots, all feeding off of the same bank accounts. It's game on. In one case, he bought $132,000 worth of shoes, which he resold for a profit of $20,000. So this dude is getting to the bit of that. This is money. This is how you hustle. He told Bloomberg he never received information from his mother, who worked for the firm for more than 25 years. That's bullshit. Come on, stop it. West Coast Streetwear, this is his mom's. His mom's going to want his business to be successful. She's going to be like, oh, it's okay. Come on. West Coast Streetwear is a part of a broader resale market for sneakers, which Cohen analysts estimated in July at $2 billion in North America alone. That's crazy. This is the resale market. So if I buy a pair of shoes and I flip them, the margins, the money people make in between the price they bought them for and the price they resell them, that is at $2 billion for North America as of July, guys. Crazy. Nike holds a delicate place in that market, which the brand benefits from the hype that comes with sky-high prices, limiting shoes to much risk angering customers and losing out on possible sales. The firm's decision to release some shoes via its own sneakers app, SNKRS, opening up to manipulation by the bots used by Mr. Herbert and others, has fueled debate about its role. Absolutely. So you could argue Nike, it knows who the top resellers are, knows the top resellers are affiliated with people who work at Nike, and they just keeping all that money in a circle. I'm sure he's not the only kid whose parent works in a top position at Nike, or even in a medium position at Nike, or even is just a Nike store manager and is letting their kids reflip sneakers. Come on, it's a huge business. And Nike don't care. They're keeping all that money within the circle. But the people that's really getting paid is the people that are regional managers, are district managers, are state managers, managers over the whole North America. They flipping for big bread. They doing what we doing on small scales for big bread. They putting bots into the game and letting bots buy the shoes off of the apps for them. Come on. They getting to the head of the line, and then they get multiple places in the line. UK-based reseller Tahsin Sabir said Nike and other companies haven't done enough to crack down on such activity, which can lead releases to sell out nearly instantly. I think they don't actually mind people doing it because it sort of drives the hype, he said. They're multi-billion-dollar companies. At the end of the day, they could do a lot more with their technology to try to stop it. Nike in a statement said Ms. Herbert, who oversaw that app, had made the decision to resign. So she oversees the app which the sneakers sell on, and her son is using bots on the app, but they never talked about nothing. You hear how they talk to you like you dumb, gang? Gang, you hear how they talk to us like we are stupid? My mom worked at the company who designed an app. I use computer programs to hack into that app and buy off of that app at a pace that regular people can't keep up with, and consuming all of the quantity that I then turn around and resell for huge profits because the people who couldn't get it when it released still want it. And I don't have to do huge resales. I could resell them for $50, $100, just to make margins, make nice margins. And in doing that, if I buy up 2,000 pairs of the right shoe, I can make 20 grand easy. If I buy up 200 pairs of the right shoe, put $100 on the margin, 20 grand. 20 grand. If I buy up 2,000 pairs of the right shoe, $100 margin, 20 grand. It's not hard to buy up 2,000 pairs of a shoe, especially with bots. On social media, the West Coast Streetwear promoted its trainers' fines. The young Herbert was also hit with criticism as commenters said the reports of the familial ties cast the business hustle he portrayed in a new light. Thanks, Mom, one commentator posted under one of the firm's pictures. So people knew, and it's like, bro, you acting like you out here getting to it and really working hard to find these shoes. Because that's a whole huge culture. There's tons of amazing films that have been done on the sneaker culture, and people going to different trade shows and stuff, buying shoes, buying up bulk, flying to Japan, flying to China. This dude don't got to do none of that. He sit at home and just jack up the algorithm. It's an intelligent way to play the game. It's the most intelligent way to play the game. That's working smarter, not harder. This kid in a few years, he gonna be working at some Fortune 500 company, showing them how to get the game going. These people don't get punished, they get rewarded. This mom, her son is gonna be some huge success. Be just fine. That's just his ghetto point of view. You can say, oh, that's messed up that I think that way, but doesn't change it from being the truth. I'm gonna take a quick break, gang. We'll be right back. Cheers. Gang, we back. And before we get out of here, man, one other thing I really wanted to talk about. So, there's a company, Boston Dynamics. They do like robotic stuff. If you ever get a chance, check out their YouTube videos, Boston Dynamics. They have like robotic dogs, robotic drones. And you know, I've been watching their videos. They can make the dogs dance and move and pick up things. And they're very strong. They can pick up things way bigger than they weight. And, you know, they can take hits and take a licking and keep on ticking. And they have robots that can, you know, take command, shoot, jump, fire, lift things, put things out. All type of crazy. Pretty much they're trying to get them to be emergency bots that can do things in quote unquote heightened or dangerous situations that wouldn't put people as in jeopardy. Makes sense, yes. But then what do the people do who used to do those jobs? Dumb. Yeah, right? So recently this week, the NYPD has released their own set of robotic dogs that look similar to the ones that were manufactured in Boston Dynamics, but theirs are called the DigiDog, and they have literally the NYPD blue colors. And as the New York Post reports on February 23rd, 2021, so yes, very recent, guys, NYPD shows new robotic dog in action in the Bronx. Who is a good bot? The NYPD deployed its new robotic dog to a home invasion crime scene in the Bronx on Tuesday morning. Video shows the blue and black four-legged DigiDog trotting along the sidewalk, joined by its handlers. The videographer, Daniel Vols of freedomnews.tv, wrote that the dog responded to a home invasion and barricaded situation on East 227th Street near White Plains Road in Wakefield. So these people invaded the home and then barricaded it, and now they sent this dog inside. And now they sent the dog inside, the robo dog. Family, do y'all see where this is going? Y'all don't see where this is going. A spokeswoman for the NYPD said that the 70-pound robot is in its test phase and is equipped with lights and cameras to allow cops to see its surroundings in real time. Also, it comes with two-way communication. Cops confirmed responding to the address for an ongoing investigation and finding no one there. The dog weighs 70 pounds and can run about 3.5 miles per hour and climb stairs. Members of the NYPD's Technical Assistance Response Unit told ABC7 back in December it is covered in cameras and lights. This dog is going to save lives, protect people, and protect officers, and that's our goal. TARU Inspector Frank Digiacomo said. So it's a DigiDog, and this dude is a Digiacomo. Very nice. That's hilarious. The department also deployed a robotic dog back in October to a Brooklyn shooting after the gunman holed up in a nearby basement. What? Excuse me? October 29th, 2020, NYPD deploys robot dog after woman shot during Brooklyn parking dispute. You see these mofos? Wow. A fight over a parking spot, and this is also thanks to the New York Post, ended with one combatant's wife getting accidentally shot, and cops later deployed a robot dog when the gunman holed up in a nearby basement, according to police sources and photos from the scene. The dispute happened around 10 p.m. Wednesday on Atkins Avenue near Sutter Avenue in Cypress Hills. The 43-year-old suspect opened fire, striking a 42-year-old woman in the head. Instead of her husband, the intended target. The shooter then bolted to a nearby building where he barricaded himself, according to the sources. So in barricaded situations, they sending in these dogs. NYPD's emergency service units response, along with the robot developed by Boston Dynamics. Oh, so these are the Boston Dynamic dogs. They just changed them and made them NYPD. Ooh. Oh, this is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. Yeah, those Boston Dynamics dogs ain't nothing to play with, y'all. If you get a opportunity, go to Boston Dynamics YouTube page and look up what these dogs can do. They are nothing to play with. Police sources say the suspect was ultimately taken into custody, but police officials could not confirm any arrest Thursday morning. The victim was taken to Brookdale University Hospital, where she is listed in stable condition. Did the dog kill the person? Did the robo-dog kill the person? There was no arrest. What happened to the suspect? What happened to the suspect? That's crazy. So now you got two stories where these robo-dogs was deployed. But then the suspects are now going. Did the robo-dogs snap and kill the suspects? This is getting serious. Please continue to like, subscribe to the show, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Wednesdays and Sundays is when we get it in, and I appreciate your patience when I can't get the show up in the evening. It's definitely coming out the very next morning. Much love, gang. Please continue to support. Donate via PayPal and Venmo. PayPal.me/PHANTM PHUEGO and Venmo at Phantm Phuego 42. The number's 4, the number 2, Phantm Phuego 42. You guys are so wonderful. I'm so appreciate everything y'all do. Shout out to AJ's Kitchen for all these incredible spreads. Get your infused dishes. Get your infused lotions, your salves from AJ's Pantry. Gummies, cookies, however you like to take your medicine and enjoy, relax, let your cannabinoid system heal your body naturally and organically. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. AJSKITCHINN. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. Much love once again, guys. Y'all make this show what it's worth. Please go back and listen to the previous episodes with all the amazing guests I've had on, and look forward to the amazing guests that I'll have coming up in the next days. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. I'm getting out of here. Have a great day. Much love. Peace.